Hello, and welcome to my channel. My name is Ruby Williams. I will be presenting problem solving, critical thinking, and creativity in the workplace. I'm a doctoral student at Aspen University. My professor is Dr. Amanda Gaddis. Let's begin. Throughout history, many theorists have been interested in feelings and emotions. Attempts to figure out what are they and what do they do. Philosophers in ancient Greece set the stage for later perspectives about emotions. The Cannon-Bard theory claims that emotions and physiological responses to a stimulus occur simultaneously and independently, rather than a cause and effect sequence. There are four research concepts we're going to discuss: the problem solving cycle, obstacles and aids to problem solving, critical thinking across the lifespan, research on critical thinking in the workplace. According to Shermer, emotions are conscious or unconscious mental states provoked by experiences that meet our needs and motivate our behavior. Behaviors can be positive or negative. This is dependent on having the ability to self-regulate. Maslow claimed that emotions revolve around needs and their fulfillment. Needs can be physiological or related to safety, social belonging, self-esteem, and self-actualization. In people who have high measured emotional intelligence, meaning they can regulate their feelings, usually they can problem solve. Usually they can problem solve more easily. Excuse me. So emotions, cognition, behavior, how does all this come into play? Well, we have problem solving. We're going to talk about 6 different areas. So we have problem solving cycles, obstacles and aids to problem solving, critical thinking across lifespan, like I said, research on critical thinking in the workplace, and selective focus on training and proposal. Problem solving is a structured and cognitive process. There are 6 steps. Identify the framework and define the problem. Begin to generate a solution to the problem. Evaluate the most effective plan of action for resolving the problem. Implement the solution. And finally, review the process and then reflect on the process and all the outcomes. An example would be, as you see this problem solving circle, you have 6 repeating steps, which is iterative. You have identify, define, generate, select, implement, review. Team-wide adoption improves outcomes. Diagram emphasize the narration. So we'll keep going around this circle. An example of this would be when a nurse resident needs to calculate the correct medication dosage based on patient's weight and the drug's concentration in the bottle. This is a straightforward answer with one solution. Well-structured problems have clear paths and solutions, but mixing up problem-solving steps can lead to errors in identifying issues and goals. Shortcuts may complicate the process and hinder effective resolution. An example of an ill-structured problem would be trying to design a long-term fitness plan for a client with chronic illnesses, joint pain, a busy schedule, and a limited budget. Accurate problem identification and clear planning are crucial for effective problem solving. Requiring a strategic approach to simplify complexities and resource acquisition. Continuous monitoring and evaluation are essential for making necessary improvements throughout the process. Effective problem solving works best when consistently applied across all teams. This is a repetitive cycle. It is not a straight line. This is not a linear process, and this is not a straight line to the finish. So we're going to identify, clarify the problem context, define what is the problem clearly, define, analyze, cause, and constraints. So in identifying, we're going to say, we want to know the who, the what, the when, the where, the why, and guess what? You're going to determine the how. Define, so break the problem down into parts for clarity. Encourage divergent ideas among your team members. Choose the solution based on a set of decided criteria and evidence-based practice. Implement and then evaluate outcomes and refine as needed. And around we go. Obstacles are cognitive blocks. Rigid use of past solutions that didn't work the first time, so we're going to try them again. Functional fixedness, limited divergent thinking, cognitive overload and errors, lacking need targeted training. Emotions effect on cognition. We rely on memories in solving our problems. We must overcome functional fixedness, which is a cognitive bias. It leads to mental roadblocks, difficulty seeing innovative means of problem solving. It is often called tunnel vision, requiring us to think outside of the box. Low creativity restricts flexible thinking. Cognitive overload increases mistakes under pressure. Team training should be explicitly related to the problem and reducing any blocks. Obstacles, emotions. Sorry, fix my camera, guys. Emotions and resources. Stress reduces efficiency. Fatigue impacts judgment. Time and resources constraints obviously are going to affect our resources. Emotional bias clouds reasoning. Leadership support buffers these barriers. Encouraging brainstorming and collaboration, use available visual aids. Be supportive as leaders. Perform a SWOT analysis, which is our strength, our weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. In a SWOT analysis, the strengths and weaknesses will come from within your organization, your resources, and your current processes. Opportunities and threats will pertain to conditions outside your organization, such as market trends and regulations. Aids to problem solving, collaboration, cross-role collaboration, judgment-free brainstorming, psychological safety, peer learning and feedback, and prevent narrow thinking. Collaboration encourages multiple perspectives. Brainstorming suspends judgment to widen options. Psychological safety allows members to speak up. Peer-to-peer learning groups, adaptability. Group methods reduce over-reliance on a single viewpoint. So aids to problem solving, leadership and structure. Leaders set the tone and model adaptive thinking. Strategic decision-making tools help narrow down the decision-making process. Debriefing and after-action reviews improve communication and while adding any lessons learned, like what did we do well? What can we do better? Use a systematic approach such as the Stringer cycle, which is the look, think, do. Also, a cyclical circular cycle. Also provides a format for problem solving. It systematically captures learning, mentorship support through tenured members, and a culture that rewards experimentation and learning. This means that the research can change to needed to meet the needs of the participants involved, which is your stakeholders, which can be anyone. It also involves the researcher continue using these cycles until the problem or issue is completely solved. And then, of course, we re-enter it with the next problem, and around we go. Critical thinking across the lifespan. Wow. Early adulthood, skill building. In middle adulthood, complexity balance, balancing a lot of things. Older adulthood, reflective wisdom. You have to tailor your methods to the developmental stage. Educator adaptability is key. Critical thinking is vital throughout the lifespan. According to Santrot, physical arousal and overt behavior play a role in emotions, which can be classified as positive or negative. Emotions play a crucial role in relationships, including those between parents and children, as well as peer relationships, such as in a workplace. Emotion regulation is becoming more important in development. Emotional intelligence is also gaining popularity. Critical thinking develops across the lifespan. Let's begin with babies. Babies are not emotionally mature, as we can expect. They are learning to assess trust versus mistrust. I cry, do you come? I'm hungry, do you feed me? I'm wet, do you dry me? Infants develop cognitive foundations through sensory exploration and cause and effect. These are precursory to later development of analytical skills. Critical thinking and teenagers. I can't believe we just said that in the same sentence, but guess what? They do. Adolescence is a crucial period for developing emotional regulation skills. It coincides with emotional challenges and the onset of anxiety and depression disorders. Difficulty in managing emotions during this period are significant, as their peers become an essential part of how they are reasoning. And guess what? They're going through the same thing at the same time. In early adulthood, the brain is not fully mature until the late 20s. This can cause some to have cognitive delays and emotional immaturity in the workplace. Critical thinking abilities are built on enhanced abstract thinking, informed decision making, and self awareness. They are now capable of analyzing objective data, solving complex problems, and thinking critically in the workplace. So they can do it, and I believe in them. In the middle adulthood phase, the individual may be juggling many roles, many balls in the air. Some may have children graduating from high school or going off to college. Their parents are getting older and neither help to provide them with care. This can affect the emotional and cognitive function. They are faced with new time constraints. In older adulthood, they have many life experiences and have much more cognitive awareness. However, this is also a time when brain health may decline in some people. They may experience difficulties recalling data or learning new data, which can impact their mood and their behavior. This can cause a change in how they handle emotional interactions in the past. An example would be when nursing went from paper documentation to electronic documentation. Some of our more senior or experienced nurses found that troubling. Some even left the workforce, and some dug in and were determined they were going to learn it. So, what is this saying? Educator adaptability. It is beneficial to the educators, nurses, doctors, even police officers to be knowledgeable of the process of cognitive development and emotional regulation across the lifespan. Being mindful of the facts that age, gender, culture collectively influence emotions and should be examined together for their interactions and behaviors. Critical thinking across the lifespan, simulations for early career clinicians. Our earlier generations or our new generations love simulations. They love technology, digital learning. In the new generation of professionals, they thrive in simulations with digital learning. It's kind of like that life going virtual video game, only it's real life. Problem-based cases are more your middle age groups or career-driven people. They will be strong in complex problem-based scenarios. Mentorship and case reviews later, more senior age groups are much further along in their careers. They have many life experiences to draw on and prefer case studies over technology. They are often sought out for mentorship programs. So, emotional modulate cognition across ages. Stronger outcomes happen with generational mixes. Mixed age teams improve decision making and lead to increased resiliency. Creative thinking in the workplace findings or drives creative thinking drives innovation and satisfaction. Who knew that? Who knew? Wow. New ideas, new satisfaction. Enables flexible problem solving, encourages divergent ideation, boosts teamwork and morale. Values are when it's institutionalized or standardized across the organization. It enhances innovation, satisfaction, teamwork, fostering adaptability and risk taking. Its lasting impact is achieved when integrated into the organizational culture, the entire framework. When teams feel they are part of the new processes, guess what? They become invested and drive innovation. Isn't that great? Creative thinking in healthcare. What? We use huddle boards for shared ideas. Rapid cycle PDSA. Don't worry, I'm going to tell you what that means. Staff led micro innovations. That's kind of like you have a meet and greet or lunch and learn. Ideas sharing, norms by leaders. Diverse teams equal better ideas. Remember, I told you that generational, mixed generations, great innovation, improve innovation. Huddle boards facilitate quick ideas sharing, while rapid PDSA cycles enable safe testing of concepts. Empowering the staff led innovations and promoting diversity in teams fosters practical solutions. So, what is that PDSA cycle I was talking about? It's 4 stages: plan, execute, study, and act. So, plan, you're going to recruit a knowledgeable team, draft an aim statement, analyze current processes, execute the action plan, and gather data. Study, evaluate the effectiveness of your plan. Act by either standardizing successful improvements of your new plan or let's start over and revise the plan and do this whole thing all over again. So, selected focus, creativity training. I've been talking about creativity. Why does it even matter? Often it's overlooked in healthcare, but it improves adaptability under pressure, and we definitely have pressure. Strengthens teamwork culture. We're right up on each other. It's great to have good communication and great teamwork. Encourages safe experimentation and supports continuous improvement. It's crucial for adaptive expertise and collaboration. Avoid allowing protocols to restrain creative brainstorming. We're doing it because it's our protocol. But is our protocol still effective? Is it still valid? Safe experimentation fosters learning and empowers team members to think outside of that box I was talking about, which boosts productivity. What is my training plan, you ask? I'll tell you. I have 4 steps. I'm going to conduct a 1 to 2 hour workshop, small group problem solving case studies. We're going to do reflection or that debriefing with psychological safety, of course, and structured feedback. Digital idea board for follow up because we got to take care of our new generation who likes their video games and their technology. So, this introductory workshop is focused on creativity tools, collaboration efforts, and a can do mindset. Team challenges to facilitate a collaborative workflow for problem solving. Plus, everybody likes some good, healthy competition. Reflect on lessons learned from each group's challenges. Maintain a digital idea board for collecting ideas. Monthly check ins to maintain that positive energy and collective creativity. Looks like it's going to be a plan. All right, you guys, this concludes our presentation, and I have some references for you. And here they are. Thank you for viewing this presentation. Once again, I'm Ruby Williams, and I'm with Aspen University.